Hello, Sister Leaders community. I am so excited. Of course, this is Dr. Karen here, and I have with me, I don't travel alone. I travel with some awesome people that operate here on this earth. And today I have Dr. Xenia Barnes. And look, she is a powerhouse. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. And I got a few questions because we're going to dig deep, get all up in her business so we can find out everything that she does. And so, Dr. Barnes, welcome to the Sister Leaders community.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing this space and your platform with me. Hi, all. I am Reverend Dr. Xenia Barnes. I'll tell everyone the Reverend is for me, the doctor is for you. And I am just here to share in this space and bring this energy. A little bit background about me. Yes, I am a Reverend, but like I said, that is about my spirituality and my faith and my hope and what I like to bring and remembering my times of my travel through the darkness. And so I cling to that, Reverend. The doctor is my expertise. The doctor is my background in research, my experience. And now I come with a lot, honey. I come with a lot of experience. And I want to say over 20 years. Woo, I'm about to age myself. 25 plus years in research for behavioral science as well as education. I'm a published author, an advocate, and someone who works on legislation. So we got a lot of things. I wear many crowns, but I'm pretty sure we're going to tap into a little bit about that. So I'm going to pass it back to Karen because there's a lot that we have in store for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You are so correct because I even wrote a few notes so I could get deep in your business. And so let's start with my first question, which talks about how you combine all of your different talents. And so my first question is, what inspired you to combine ministry, social and behavioral science, and leadership coaching into the work you do today?
Oh, that's a good one. I would definitely say what inspired me to do so was life experience. So, textbook doesn't teach you for reality. Textbook does not teach you for reality. And in 2017, I went through this. My family went through this traumatic experience of the murder of my only nephew, and that took me into this deep, dark place of grief. And navigating through the different channels of trying to be the same person, be there for my family, do the things that I needed to do at work. I didn't realize that I was going through a mental breakdown because I was just doing like most women of color. We just do. We are way makers. We figure it out. If something happens, we just pick up the ball and we just start moving forward. And having that experience, I had to figure out what does this look like for me? What does it look like to grieve in a sense of where I can be the best version of myself and not wallow in the darkness? And so that kind of what brought me back to ministry. I'm from a praying family. My grandmother was a reverend, and so it's been in me. But we all get grown, we grow up, and sometimes we waver, we move away from. And this experience just brought me back to my roots because I had to surrender to something else to get rid of the anger and the hatred that was consuming me. And so that's what brought me to the Reverend. That's what made me get ordained. That's what made me tap back into that. Now, my studies and social behavioral sciences because I've always wanted to understand human behavior from being a young activist 15 years old in the community trying to understand why there was broken families in the community, why all families didn't look like mine, or why some kids only had one parent and not two in the household, why some kids got to stay out later, why they like all those different stages of what I saw within the community made me want to understand human behavior, the decisions that people made. And then, especially once I got into the field of education, I was like, hold on, there's too many gaps. Our people are slipping through too many gaps. We're not getting the same resources as our counterparts. So I dug more into that as well. And then, when in 2021, when I was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis, which is a terminal lung disease, my lungs are failing. I was met with so much resistance at work, needing reasonable accommodations, showing up and just trying to express how I can still do my job when people didn't understand what the sickness was and what I was going through. And so they forced me out. That's what made me say, okay, wait, something else has to be done. And that's what helped me to build my From Trauma to Triumph framework, which I speak about in both my books, Grieving to Heal, as well as Triumph in the Trenches. And that made me combine all this together because I had to revamp myself. I wasn't just going to let this disease or this sickness take a hold of me and just cast me away. And so within that, find tying that with my faith, tying it back with my expertise and my knowledge and just life experience, I crafted Gold Mine Thoughts Leadership Development Firm, which trains leaders and organizers how to lead from a trauma informed place, how to meet their employees where they are, but also how to communicate effectively from a trauma informed lens and not just dismiss people's feelings or dismiss people's lives and the things that they're going through, because everyone is going through something.
Absolutely, absolutely. But girl, you said a mouthful there. You done jumped all over my questions here. So here, I'm gonna have to catch up with you. So I think I got one here that you didn't touch on. This question says, many leaders struggle with bridging their faith and professional life. What advice do you offer them for those who'd like to bridge their faith and professional life?
What I say is, you have to understand that everyone is not where you are. And you can bridge the two, but you can still simultaneously keep it separate. Like I said, the reverend is for me. My faith and my beliefs, I don't push that on anyone, but I keep that at the forefront of my decisions. I keep that at the core. That's what centers me. And so I say to other people, you can allow your faith to center you so that you are not wavering in your morals. You're making sure that you're not passing judgment on people, and you have this compass that allows you to not stray away from what your principles are. And that's how you are able to kind of bring them both together, is because I understand as a leader there's certain things that just goes against my moral compass, and my moral compass is tied to my faith. So I can be a leader and lead from that without pushing on to you. Well, the Bible says this and the Bible says that, and do on to. I don't have to say that, but I know in the background, I know how I respond to things, and so I keep in that. I keep in the way that I respond to things and think about how I want people to treat me, and so that's what I take to other leaders. How do you want people to respond and to treat you? And if you don't want people to respond to you in a nasty way or a negative way or an unwholesome like way, then you shouldn't respond to people or treat people in that way. So your faith is going to go rooted in your leadership based on the way you interact with individuals.
Okay, I love that. And I guess that's a little akin to that saying, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, it's a bigger treat people the way you want to be treated, but then you kind of tweak it and you say treat people the way you ought to be treated, because we do have some people who don't really know exactly what respect or what love is, and they're still working through that journey. So if you're someone who is living in toxicity, then I don't know if I want to say treat me how you want to be treated or how you used to be.
Yes, yeah, yep,
So,
I got it.
so you kind of got to be mindful a little bit about that, but treat people how they ought to be treated and treat people with humanity.
Yep, yep. I totally agree with that. So here's a question for you. What is one myth about human behavior that you wish you could bust once and for all?
That that's a great one. And I say with human behavior, I would say the myth would be that everyone understands and has emotional intelligence. Uh, and you I feel like everyone has specs of it, but until you go through a process of actually learning what it is, then you understand that, okay, whoa, everybody's on different spectrums of what this is. And so many people believe that emotional intelligence is just being open, being honest, and that's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's about learning the different stages and learning how to effectively communicate, learning that body language plays a part, understanding that everybody is in different quadrants of not only their life but maturity levels. And it's about being able to, and that's why I always say meet people where they are, because just because you believe that you may be up here with your experience, with your degrees and everything that you bring forward, and you meet someone who is like early onset, doesn't mean that you get to treat them any kind of way just because you're up here. Respect respect will humble and balance everyone. And so that's a big part of emotional intelligence, is understanding that as a leader, it is not only your job to dictate or to give out orders, but it's also your job to reach down and bring people up.
I love that. So, who has been a significant influence or maybe mentor in your life, and what did they teach you?
I would say that's, oh my goodness, I've had so many different mentors and inspirational people in my life, but I would definitely say I had a ninth grade math teacher. I had a ninth grade math teacher, and I will never forget her, Miss Bascombe. Or two, Miss Bascombe and Miss Coverton. And the two of them fought so hard for me in high school. When I would like to say, like when people doubted, it was always I was quiet, but I was smart.
Mm-hmm.
And so that them and teaching me that you just because you may feel like you know more, or you feel like people judge you, doesn't mean that you have to always be in the back. Sometimes you have to be in the front so that your message can be heard. And I'll never forget having that discussion with them. And so just the love that they poured into me, and to where I'm is what, 30 something years later, I can still remember that. That makes me want to be that for someone else. And that's what made me go into education. It made me go into education because I wanted to be an educator that children could look up to and remember, as this person saw something in me. And so I lead with that. I lead with being an impact, or trying to be an impact, a positive impact on others' lives. I would say another person that helped me was a co-worker. Her name is Marlene Maxwell, and we were co-teachers. We were co-teachers when I was teaching in elementary. We were fourth grade co-teachers, and she was the yin to my yang. When I say, like, she knew what I was going to say before I can get it out, and we just worked so well. And the kids and the parents loved us. But she always reminded me that you don't always have to be humble. Sometimes you have to be cocky, because I'm very much a person that doesn't like to talk about themselves. So she's like, no, you have to let people know who you are. It's okay. Like, you did the
Mm-hmm.
hard work. It's okay to let people know who you are. Don't look at it as being cocky. Just look at you celebrating as you celebrating yourself. And that's something that I still wrestle with, but I
Mm-hmm.
do it. I'm doing it a lot more. I'm doing it a lot more. So I appreciate when we started come on. You said, don't get on here and be humble. You better get on here and tell people who you are. And I was like, okay, for me, I felt like, okay, do she know Marlene? Like, did you talk to Marlene?
I love it. And I totally agree with Marlene. Totally agree. Um, what is one core behavior or mindset shift that you believe is most critical for any type of transformational leadership?
I would say,
A mindset shift or core behavior.
mhm. I would say mindset shift would definitely be the mindset shift would definitely be establishing psychological safety within the workplace. And that's because so many individuals are battling mental health challenges, and they're not open about it because they feel like they can't be open in the workplace. And that's the culture that it has been that culture for generations within the workplace. And so, when I work with leaders, I explain to them, if people are not comfortable enough coming and being forthcoming and saying, I need a mental health day, or just being able to say, like, today is one of those days that I need to work from home for my mental health, and not being met with understanding and compassion, then you're going to continue to have high turnaround. You're going to continue to have employees who have tons of burnout, and you're going to have people that are just coming to just get a check, and they're not really being productive or doing the things they can do. So the mindset shift will definitely be around psychological safety and workplace culture.
So I think you kind of defined it just a little bit, but what is a layman's definition of psychological safety, so that one will be able to recognize it?
I'm sure. So when you think about psychological safety, I want you to think about workplace trauma. I want you to think about toxic work environment. All those things fall within the psychological safety of the work, because psychological is just, it's your mindset. That's what psychological is. Your psychological is your mindset. Are you coming to work, and when you get to work, this energy is taking over you to where you're just down, you're just aggravated. You always feel like every time you open an email, it's a nasty email, it's an aggressive email. Everything that you feel like you may be doing things right, but people are only seeing the things that they feel are incorrect. That is a place, when I say it's an unsafe psychological place, because you are never in the mindset to be the best version of yourself or be the most productive version of yourself. So when you think about psychological safety, you think about that. And some key tips for mental wellness in that space, in that regimen, I always say, make sure you find your circle of positivity and your circle of people that you can talk through the things that you're going through. You talk through with good advice and good intention, right? Those candid conversations where it's like, it's not only water cooler venting. Everybody knows at the job there's always some place where everybody go get water or they go get coffee, and everybody's just talking about all the things that's going wrong. Nobody wants to mention how you fix it. It's just a room full of complaints, right? That's not the circle that you want to look for when you're thinking about your psychological safety. You want to make sure that you have, even if it has to be a psychiatrist, a therapist, a co-worker who can be a mentor that helps bounce ideas, but have some real actionable solutions or tangible things that you can do to change whatever is weighing on your shoulders heavily. That's what I mean when I say your psychological safe circle.
Okay, I understand it now. What role does professional counseling and spirituality play in one's ability to be able to identify whether or not they are in a psychological safe environment?
I would say spiritually, I would say it's definitely this sense of whole and peace. When you are unable to be comfortable with yourself, sitting in solitude, being by yourself, listening to your inner thoughts, that's when you can recognize that, hey, something's off here. I'm not in a great mindset. There's something going on with this idea that's not working. Because I always tell individuals, if you're not comfortable with you, how can you expect other people to be comfortable with you?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And so when you bring that back to the workforce, you often I tell and part of my sessions when I'm consulting with people, employees, I always say, if there is no employee that's just waking up and saying, you know what, I'm coming to work today to make you have a bad day. Just like I don't think there's a manager that wakes up to say, I'm coming to work to make sure that all my employees have a bad day. There's something personal going on in their life. There's something that's not sitting right with them, that's weighing heavy, and they don't know how to articulate what it is, or they don't know how to navigate through it. And so what happens is, naturally, it's taken out on the next person that they meet. So it's important for you to lead from a place of, you don't want to be anyone's last straw. I don't want to be anyone's last straw. I don't want to be that straw that breaks and you snap, and now here it is. One of us is going to jail, or one of us is being attacked or something. Like, I don't want to be that last straw. So I'm very intentional about the way I communicate, the way I interact with others. And there's a saying that goes back way back when. I'm pretty sure your grandparents said it to you, or your mom said it to you. It says, "Be careful how you entertain strangers, because you just may be entertaining an angel." And so I keep that. I keep that with me, because you never know who you're gonna meet. You never know how far a smile can go, or even a good morning, or have a good day. So that goes with your spirituality. That goes with your leadership model. Lead by example, and others will follow.
I love that. So, thinking about your coaching practice, how do you define gold mine? And for those who are listening, it's gold, GOLD, mine, MIND, because I know it can sound different over the radio and through your podcast. So, but tell us, this is your one of your frameworks. How do you define a gold mine in your coaching practice?
And so the gold, for me, the gold represents the money, right? You always, no matter what you're doing, you if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
I like that. That's a
Right.
bumper sticker right
So
there.
so the goal is the money, but the mind is psychological, and that's what you bring. You bring your knowledge, you bring your expertise, right? And the thought is, how do you put it into action? So that's why it's gold mine thoughts. So how do I take these thoughts, my expertise, turn it into action, so I can make sure that I'm getting to the goal?
All right. So do you immediately tie, how do I tie my talent into where it equates to revenue?
Absolutely. And you know why? Because I spent a lot of years volunteering. I spent a lot of years volunteering. I spent a lot of years giving away golden nuggets and not getting any return. I
I
spent a
did
lot,
too.
I spent a lot of years. I'm like, those of you out there listening, I'm telling you, no more. No more, not in the year 2025. We spend a lot of years paying tuition, going to college, doing research, doing all the things, and then we let people come pick our brains. And that's your goal, right? You let people come and say, "Hey, call you," and say, "Hey, Dr. Hills, I want to be able, let me pick your brain for a minute." And naturally you say, "Well, what's going on?" And then they ask you all the questions, right? And they get all the gems, they get all the golden nuggets without paying for it. They go off, make tons of money, and then don't even acknowledge that they did this brainstorming with you. Now you out of brain power, you out of energy, you out of time you can't get back. You gonna give all that away for free. You gave all that away for free, no acknowledgement, no shout out, no anything. So where is your goal in return? So that's why I say to individuals, gold mine thoughts. Gold mine thoughts leadership learn is about taking your expertise, taking your knowledge, and turning it into something that you can then live with. Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of people making money off of me, and my pocket's not growing.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think a lot of early entrepreneurs, because early in my entrepreneur journey, I did a lot of that, but I wised up and others told me you need to stop giving away everything for free.
That was
Um,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I totally get what you're saying. So a few more questions, and I heard your little furry friend there. It's okay. It's okay because life happens. So my next question is, how do you personally stay grounded and renewed while doing so much purpose-driven work?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yep. How do you personally stay grounded and renewed while doing so much purpose driven work? A lot of your work is tied into purpose.
Yes. So I would say, for me, believe it or not, for me, it is small moments, like me and my fur baby in here. I turn the music on and we just dance together. She helps me release some energy, release some weight. Sometimes that's carrying. I always tell individuals that you have to find reasons and times to belly laugh like you were a kid. So whatever I can do to make me belly laugh. Oftentimes I'm writing, I'm journaling things down. Ideas are coming from here and there, but it's simple things. Listening to music, family time, finding those time to create moments with my family. A lot of the things that I took for granted before I got sick, because I was so busy in doing the work. I was so engulfed in doing the work that I forgot about that safe space time and creating moments with the family. And so once I got sick, it became more evident to me that I spent a lot of my time giving time to everyone else, and I was limited on the time that I had with my family. So that's what keeps me grounded now, making sure that I create time for my family, making sure that I create those moments that I can capture, that should anything happen when I have my double lung transplant, God forbid anything goes wrong, there's memories of joy that they still have that I left behind with my legacy.
I love that. So as we kind of wrap up, I wish we had a lot more time to talk, but they're gonna be seeing you in the future, so they'll get the opportunity to hear more from you. So as you're thinking about ways that the sister leaders community can support you, what you got coming up, any books or any events, consulting or whatever. My last question is, looking ahead, what's your biggest hope or vision for the impact of RDB Speaks and Gold Mine Thoughts?
Yes, I love that. So yes, I definitely have. Like I spoke about my book, Triumph in the Trenches. This is volume two. I wrote like volume one is out, volume two is out, but I'm working with the rest of my co-authors on volume three. That's coming out next year. And then I am coming out there to you to be on the Sister Leader stage, to shake it up, to burn the house down. And that's going to be a great time where I get to mix and mingle with a lot of the people that's going to be there. I'm a person who likes to be open and honest. So please, if you see me, come up to me, speak to me. In the meantime, follow me on all social media platforms at RDB_speaks. And join in, tap in. On my website, you'll be able to find some different workshops and things of that nature that I will have coming up. But I'm mostly looking forward to speaker leaders, because boy, do I have some things in store for you all. I am taking you from a surviving to a thriving mindset. We are going to dive deep into my From Trauma to Triumph framework, and it's going to be a great experience. So if you haven't bought your ticket, it's time for you to make sure you get your ticket. If you haven't gotten your room, it's time for you to check in and get your room, because we are going to burn the house down.
Love it, love it, love it. And as she mentioned it, as I close out, we're returning to the Rivers Casino in Portsmouth, Virginia, October 3rd and 4th. Of course, we sold out the casino on last year. We look forward to doing that again on this year. And this year, our theme is her voice, her vision, her victory. And so it is all about thinking the right thoughts, saying, having a plan, being intentional and strategic, and then watching our work be rewarded, whether it is blessing others or by way of us using our talents where we can be blessed ourselves so that we can bless many. And so we will have a ton of speakers who hit the stage, both male and female. And our goal really is to kind of edify, educate, you, everyone and all who are going to be not only in the building but globally streamed, because of course we will continue to stream globally through our international following. But we are excited. We are excited to return back to the Rivers Casino. We are excited about the leaders who are going to grace the stage, like Dr. Barnes and of course myself, and we have quite a few others. Go up on the website. The website is sisterleaders with a S conference.com if you want to see the speakers. We are populating the speakers now. Dr. Bonds is already up there as well. And so check them out. Do a little Googling, do a little research, figure out who you want to follow, who you want to hear more of. And of course, the way that we do things is that we allow you to experience the speakers well before they get on the stage. So by the time they get on the stage in October, you know what their lane of brilliance is, you know what their area expertise is, and so you can continue to follow them. And so that's all we have on today. Thank you so much, Dr. Barnes. We are excited about hearing from you more, and we are more excited about seeing you grace the Sister Leaders stage. But for today, this is it for our Sister Leaders podcast. Stay tuned for the next leader. But for now, it's all about Dr. Barnes. So hit that replay and listen to it again. Bye.